Many musicians come from a musical family. Is that you?
Mm-hmm. Yep. They're all musical. My mom's a professional singer, voice teacher, and also church musician. And my dad is an Episcopal priest, but he worked his way through seminary playing piano in bars.
Did you always know that you were going to go into this profession?
No, I had these aspirations of being very independent and doing my own thing. And then truly by accident, I ended up the son of an Episcopal priest and a classical singer. I, by accident, ended up becoming a church musician. But as a young kid, I wanted to do very different things. So I started on the guitar and I refused to learn to read music. But eventually I kind of migrated back
How old
into
were you
the
when you picked
family
up the guitar?
professions. I was 5 or 6. I was pretty young.
So you didn't start playing this incredibly complicated organ until you were how old?
16. I was playing a lot of other things before the organ.
So how many instruments do you play?
Well, I would say I play one of them sometimes well.
Sometimes well. How long after you graduated from college or Juilliard was it before you came to Little Rock?
It was just a couple months after my last graduation. So I got my doctorate in June of 21. I think it was June. And then I was here in July. But
Why did you decide to come to Little Rock?
Yeah.
there's a lot of great stuff about Trinity and also Little Rock. I didn't know as much about Little Rock at the time, but so Trinity first. Trinity is one of the only parishes in the country to do weekly choral evensongs, which is an afternoon or early evening service that's mostly music. And it's one of the jewels of the Anglican tradition and the Episcopal tradition, but it's also, sadly, in the United States, it's pretty rare these days. Whereas in England, English cathedrals will usually do evensongs every day of the week with choir and different music every day. But the fact that we get to do it even once a week is really rare and unusual. So that's a big part of it. I mean, it's a very supportive congregation. My boss, the dean of the cathedral, Amy Daffler-Moe,
who's been on this podcast.
Oh, great. She's so wonderfully supportive, and every crazy idea that I have, usually she's like, all right, let's try it and see how it works. And the whole community's been that way.
What would you say you love the most about Little Rock?
So to probably incorrectly use a sports metaphor, I think Little Rock really punches above its weight. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did I get that? Okay, good. For its cost of living, because it's got all of these great things that a city of 200,000 probably wouldn't usually have.
Like a symphony.
The symphony and theaters and the ballet and the art museum and the presidential library and a church that does weekly choral evensongs. It's got lots of stuff that is really special.
I'm speaking today with the NBA retired basketballer, Mr. Joe Kleine, Kleine, and owner of Corky's Barbecue Restaurant in Central Arkansas. It's the end of your career. You've retired. What did you and Dana think you were going to come do? And why did you pick Little Rock when you're from Missouri?
We, when we first got married, we got married in Dallas. She was from Dallas, and this is in '86. And we always, back early on, we were like, we're coming back to Dallas. What a cool city, you know what? And then Dallas just kept getting bigger and bigger, and we'd go back to see her parents, and it's like, yeah, I don't need any of this. And when I got traded to Boston, in Sacramento, we had a house in Sacramento, and we went up to Boston and looked around for a little bit, and we couldn't, the difference in the markets was, it was, we had $350,000. We thought we were going to get us a mansion. And
right, yeah.
They were showing us apartments.
Yeah. Not in Boston.
And so we kind of said, you know what, and we weren't going to, we liked Boston, but we weren't going to live there because all our family and everybody was back this way. So we said, you know what, let's go to Little Rock for the summer. And we came back here. We bought a house and just kind of have a base. We wanted to have a base and just really enjoyed it and liked it. And so our kids were really young, so they weren't in school yet. So we didn't have to be back in Boston until October when practice started. So our summers were longer. And so we would just come back here in summer and just kind of got entrenched into the community a little bit. And then, in 1996, we sold our house here when we went to Phoenix because our kids were going to school and housing was much more affordable there. We got a nice house there. And so we were from 92 to about 2000, we had a house in Phoenix, or 93. And, but we started Corky's in 96. And so it was...
When did you retire?
2000. So when I retired...
So you started Corky's before you retired?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And so when we retired, it was kind of like, we like it there. And I had a lot of opportunities to go into NBA coaching. But I know that lifestyle, and it's just like you're going to be somewhere 2 years, and then you're going to be somewhere 2 years. You're hired to be fired. And so that didn't really appeal to me at that time. And so we had Corky's here, and it was like, hey, we'll come back here and start working there and figure it out.
So Corky's is a franchise from Memphis.
Out of Memphis, yes.
Did you know that guy before? Or how'd you pick Corky's?
I'd never heard of Corky's.
How'd you pick it?
Tommy,
your friend.
My friend Tom Kelber.
So he's here running it.
Carla, he started Backyard Burgers here.
Oh, really?
And then Backyard Burgers went corporate, and so they bought him out. And so he got it. He really did well with it, and so he wanted to do something else. And so he went over and looked at Corky's, and we found the pizza land out there in West Little Rock, and he approached me about it, and I knew it would be successful because I knew him. I'd never heard of Corky's in my life.
Well, the food's great.
I didn't know. When he said Corky's, I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like,
it's my favorite barbecue in the city.
Well, thank you. And it just kind of went from there.
You're listening to Up in Your Business with me, Kerry McCoy, and I'm speaking today with Miss Sophia Said, a worldly woman. She has a BA in economics. She is a graduate of the Clinton Public School of Service. She is a Pakistani. She is an American citizen. She is a practicing Muslim and is the current executive director at the Interfaith Center located at St. Margaret's Episcopal Church in Little Rock, Arkansas. Your husband's taking a job in Little Rock, Arkansas. Come home. He says, all right, honey, that's over. We're moving to Little Rock, Arkansas. You said, let me get the map out. Where is that?
Exactly. I did know that this is the Clinton state.
Yeah. And so you move here.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that.
So I actually wanted to pursue my PhD after my bachelor's. And initially it was a bummer for me that, we're moving to Little Rock and there is not a place where I can do my PhD. But
did y'all hear she said bummer? Okay, I just want you to know that. Okay, go ahead. She's very American. All right,
but then when I did my research on Little Rock, I found Clinton School of Public Service, which is essentially going to teach me the same things, or at least the work I'll do after that would be same. So I was actually pretty excited that we will see American South. I had traveled a lot in America. I traveled from coast to coast and border to border. I've seen not all, but more than 35 states. But not the South part. So I was really excited to be in American South. And then Clinton School of Public Service gave me an opportunity to do something different than PhD, but with similar outcomes. So I was very excited. I came here. I pursued my master's. Both my children were in middle and high school. And I worked with some local organizations as an economist, but started more and more focus on interfaith work because my children were growing and I thought there is a need to teach people the skills of interfaith cooperation. So I started this program, which is called Multi-Faith Youth Group of Arkansas back in 2011. And it's a group of teenagers, high schoolers, who are from Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist faiths, and no faith. And they come together twice a month. They have interfaith dialogue with each other. They talk about world issues. They talk about extremism and terrorism. They talk about gun violence. They talk about tolerance and love and patience. And they do service projects together. So they start the group in 9th grade. They graduate in 12th grade. It's been going on for years now, we have graduated several high schoolers who have gone to different amazing universities. But the key thing is we are creating the leaders of the future who know how to communicate with diversity, deal with diversity, how to respect each other's differences, and live in a positive, healthy, inclusive community.